Alright, what is going on, guys? My name is Leon Master. Welcome back to another Overwatch League video, another top 10 players to be looking out for next season of the Overwatch League. And we are on to the off-tank ones, and to the next and final one we're going to be doing is the top 10 DPS players to look out for next season. I'm just going to do pure DPS, no hit scan, no flex, just DPS when it comes to the final video. So let's go ahead and start off with the normal things I always need to start off with, is that this list is in no particular order. I just picked 10 players that myself I'm really excited for coming into next season. This is not a top 10 off-tank players list. The title is very, very important. This is to look out for. This is just not all around of the off-tanks. If that was the case, this list would be entirely different. So let's go ahead and start off with number 10. And number 10 is going to be Shou Cheng on the LA Valiant. And the reason I have him on this list is that could be a shocker to some people, is because what I've seen so far in his contenders days is that he honestly doesn't look insanely bad. He looks like he can be a solid off-tank coming into this next season. He's not going to be top tier. He's going to be on probably one of the worst teams in the league coming into the next season, so that will also show in his performance that he may end up being not that good of an off-tank player. I have hope for him. I think he's going to look like one of the better parts on LA Valiant and potentially could go out on other teams the season after with this LA Valiant roster. Now, who knows? Maybe this LA Valiant squad could do better than expected and he could be the heart of the team. So I have somewhat high hopes for him. I do not think he will be a top off-tank, though. I think he's still going to be near the bottom, but I still think it's going to be a fun player to look out for next season. Then on to number 9, it is Piggy on the Houston Outlaws. Just like I put Jonggu and Juby down, I want these guys to prove us all wrong. Because we all know Jonggu, Piggy are not getting a lot of love right now, except for Houston Outlaws fans giving them all the love. You know, I'm downing them too. I don't know if they're going to be a top tank duo in the league, but I want them to prove me wrong. I really want them to. We're hearing some good things when it comes to the Houston Outlaws scrims. We're hearing up and downs. We're hearing bad. We're hearing good. But I just want these guys to really prove me wrong and show that they are very flexible and show that they can contest at the top of the league when it comes to the off-tank play, the main tank play, and even the main support play when it comes to Juby and Jonggu. So I just really want to see Piggy come through. Obviously, we do know his Zarya is very good, and that is kind of the meta right now when it comes to Zarya. So I'm very excited to see what Piggy does, and I'm interested to see how it turns out. Then on to number 8, it's actually going to be Punk on the Boston Uprising. And last season, he came in, as soon as he got signed into the team, he made this team better all of a sudden. You know, when they went against the Paris Eternal in that tournament, then obviously they went down. Things went down for the Boston Uprising. Now he's coming back into this season, staying on the team of the Boston Uprising, staying with that main starting off-tank spot. It could change. Who knows? They have Gable Shield on the academy team. Anything can happen. But Punk is there, and I'm very excited to see what Punk does with this new team. He's going to look better, hopefully. You know, with Stan one beside him. You have Valentine, Faith, Myeonbong still. Like, Punk is built around some fantastic players, and I hope we can see those performances as well come through with Punk when it comes on stage and on games. Obviously, there is ever going to be a stage once again, but I'm very excited to see Punk play once again. Now to number 7, it is going to be Fried on the Vancouver Titans. I myself are very, very excited to watch this guy. I want to see him play again because he was insane at the end of Season 2. He was benched all Season 3, and now he's going to be playing for the Vancouver Titans. And I think he's just going to be a solid part in this team. Just like Fire, they're going to be the standouts on Vancouver Titans and help this team maybe get some wins. Kind of be like the Shockwave last season, where Shockwave grinded them out, almost got him a few wins, even got him a few wins. I think this is going to be the case with Fried and Fire and maybe some other pieces like Taro. So I think Fried is going to be a massive part of the Vancouver Titans coming in. He's a fantastic diva player and a hog player as well. We haven't seen that much of his Zarya when it comes in the Overwatch League, but I think Fried has it. Fried's a fantastic player. He does play the game nonstop in ranked, and I'm very excited to see what Fried does coming into the Vancouver Titans. And I think he will end up being hopefully near the middle of the pack, if not mid-high, when it comes to off-tank players. Now on to number 6, it is going to be Michelle on the Toronto Defiant. It's one of those players we haven't seen in a hot minute, and I want to see him perform on the Toronto Defiant. We haven't seen this guy play since Season 2, benched all Season 3, you know, with their tank issues on Seoul Dynasty. He's now going to the Toronto Defiant, where he's worked with KDG back in Season 2 on the Seoul Dynasty, if I remember correctly. So I'm excited to see what Michelle does. You know, KDG has a lot of trust in Michelle. Same thing goes with Sato. Hopefully he can make this tank duo work out, because I would be very excited to see if that works out with Michelle and Sato. Very excited to see if that turns out. Michelle is a top off-tank player. We've seen it in Season 2. His diva is really good. His Zarya is really good. Haven't seen that much Hog, but does Hog really matter that much? Not really. So I'm interested to see how Michelle performs. If they do need to perform on Sombra, that will never happen, though. I know he will never be playing the Sombra. He has it, though. He can play the Sombra if anything ever happens. Now to number 5, it is going to be Molfig on the London Spitfire. One of the better parts on the London Spitfire squad as well, with some other parts on the London Spitfire, but Molfig is honestly a standout for me when it comes on this team. He's a fantastic Sigma player, as we've seen in EU contenders, and we do know he's solid all around when it comes to the off tanks in the game of Overwatch. So I'm excited to see what he does on the London Spitfire with Hadi beside him, and then you also have this new team around of like Blase and some other pieces. So Molfig on the London Spitfire, I think he will be a middle of the pack off tank coming in the next season. I'd love to see what he does, maybe prove a lot of people wrong, could be a top off tank. That's going to be very hard to reach, but I do think he can do it, and I'd love to see him prove everyone wrong. Now on to number 4, it is going to be Bianca on the NYXL, a player who was benched majority of last season, and he got his play time, and I was correct coming into the last season. He was going to be a top off tank, and he showed really good performances last year when he got to play, and he was consistent as well compared to Hoppa, where he was really up and down. Bianca in game, very consistent of a player, brought the Diva play, brought the Sigma play, occasionally some Zarya, but Bianca I do think will become hopefully a top off tank player coming into next season. With this new NYXL squad, it is going to be a tough road for him. You know, it's not a team probably built for the top of the top competition, but when you have a player like Bianca, Yakpung, Jonak, and maybe some other pieces like Wangbung, there's potential that Bianca could perform with the best of the best off tanks in the league. You know, you saw Bernard he's going to go against. I am very interested to see how Bianca will be performing next season with this new team around him. Now on to number 3 is going to be Tuyu on the Seoul Dynasty. This guy had a lot of good first impressions with everybody. He looked like a top off tank as soon as he came in on the Seoul Dynasty with that 2-way contract, with his Diva play and even his Sigma play. And we were just wondering, why was this guy not full promoted? Why did he not have more games on this 2-way contract that he could have had? He only played like 1 or 2 maps, maybe even at 1 or 2 games, but I feel like he still had enough to play on the Seoul Dynasty. We did not see that come through with the Seoul Dynasty. Now he's fully promoted to this team. He's going to be hopefully the main off tank. Hopefully no tank issues like last year. I don't think anything will happen. I think he will stay on the main starting lineup. And Tuyu, hands down, I'm predicting it now, he's going to be a top off tank in the league. Maybe near the top 5 off tank conversation. That's going to be a very hard time for him to get in that top 5, but definitely top 10 hopefully. I'm very excited to see what Tuyu does. He's going to be in the main roster. He's going to impress a lot of people. Hopefully that will be the case. Now to number 2, it is going to be Bernard on the Hangzhou Spark, a player I was very excited for last season, and he reached those expectations. He was a top off tank player with the team he was on, which was the London Spitfire, which was also a very hard roster to really perform on. You had some great performances come out of some players, like Hylie was good here and there, but you also had your Glister and Bernard who were dominating consistently all the time, and Bernard was a standout, top off tank in the league. I would say he's almost near it if he is in the top 5 conversation. And I do think he was going to bring those performances with the Hangzhou Spark. Probably start over Liga, play beside Gujwei, and they will definitely be one of the better tank duos in the league next season. I'm very excited to see how that performs. They're very aggressive. Gujwei, Bernard, very excited for it this season. Now to number 1, it is going to be Poco on the Philadelphia Fusion. This guy impressed me last season. You know, he started over Fury multiple times, almost looked better than Fury here and there, not a lot. Fury was the better off tank when it came to it at the end of the day, but Poco was near the level. And now he's going to be starting full time on the Philadelphia Fusion roster right now with Mono beside him, and I'm very interested to see how this will turn out next season. With Mono and Poco, almost feels like totally different play styles. I feel like they will merge together and find something that fits them well with each other, and they're going to be hopefully a top tank duo. I hope they will be, but it's going to be very hard to predict that when this team's going through lots of changes, and who knows how it will turn out. Anyways, guys, it's going to be it for the off tanks I am looking for next season. What are yours down below? And that's going to be it for me. If you guys want to stay more in tune with Overwatch League news and Overwatch League stuff in general, don't forget to subscribe down below. Also, don't forget to join my Discord down below as well. And don't forget to follow my Twitter and my Twitch. And don't forget to hit that bell. And don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe down below. And I'll see you guys on the next one.